The project panel is where I start every new project. It can be used to import and organize the assets you're going to be using to build your editing project. I can import in a couple of different ways. The first is going to the menu bar, selecting File, and then Import. This will open up an import dialog box. A second way to import is down in the project panel, simply double-click on any blank area. This also opens the import dialog box. The third way is to use the keyboard shortcut. For a Mac, it's Command-I, and for a PC, it's Control-I. All my videos are organized in a folder labeled Video in my project folder. If I want to import a single video file, I can find that file, select it, and hit Import. I can also select and import an entire folder. With my media imported, I can see it in the project panel. Since I imported a folder, it's automatically created a bin for me called Card01. Inside that bin, I'm going to find all the video clips that were inside of that folder. To the left of the video files are different columns of metadata or different information about the video files. You can see that there are more columns than I can see, and I can use this slider at the bottom to move over to the left to see the rest of the columns. One shortcut I really like to use in conjunction with the project panel is the tilde key. The tilde key takes any panel that's active and makes it full screen. This is especially useful if you're working on a small screen or a laptop screen. With the project panel brought up to full screen, I can see all of the different columns representing the metadata of this clip. I don't use a lot of these columns and prefer a more simple and streamlined view inside the project panel. To customize which columns I see, I'm going to go to the top of one of the columns, right-click, and select Metadata Display. In the Metadata Display window, I'm going to select the first option here, Premiere Pro Project Metadata, and hit the twirl or drop-down arrow to reveal the items inside of it. I'm going to go through this list, and I'm going to uncheck all of the columns that I don't want to see. I'm going to keep name, keep label, keep frame rate. I'm going to turn off media start, media end. I'm going to keep media duration. I'm going to turn off video in, video out, video duration. I'm going to turn off subclip start, subclip end, subclip duration. I'm going to keep video info and audio info. I'm going to turn off tape name, turn off description, and turn off log note. I'm also going to turn off capture settings, status, scene, shot, good, hide, and I'm going to turn on Proxy. I've put the same list of my preferred columns in the description. If you want to save this as a custom setting that you can then pull back up at any time, simply go over to the Save Settings button and type in the name and hit the OK button. That now shows up in this drop-down menu here of all of the saved custom column layouts. This will reset back to the default project to project. So when starting a new project, one of the first things I do is open this up and select my custom column layout. If I want to change the order of these columns, once I've selected the ones I want to see, all I need to do is select the column header for the one I want to move, click and hold on it, and drag it over to where I want it to appear in the list. When I let go, it will move to that location. I can also go to the divider between columns, click and drag to make the columns the width that I would like, or the width needed to read all of the information. I'm currently looking at the project panel in the list view. The other view that you may be seeing is the icon view. In the icon view, I'm limited to seeing only the main directory of the project. If I want to look inside of another bin, I have to double click on that bin, which will open up a new tab or a new panel for that bin. I can then see inside of that bin and see all of the individual thumbnails that make up each clip. I prefer in my project panel to be working in the list view. I find it much easier to navigate and organize my files. A couple of things I can do to start organizing my assets in the project panel is things like rename my files non-destructively, or create new bins or folders to store things in. I can create a new bin by either right-clicking and selecting New Bin, or going down to the folder in the bottom right-hand corner and selecting that. I can also use the shortcut Command-B. I can put a bin inside of a bin. For example, I can take card 1 and move it inside of the media bin. Here's an example of a fleshed out project panel from a project already in progress. Once I'm done setting up and organizing my project panel, I can hit the tilde key once again to move the panel back down to its original place. There are several view options in the project panel that can make seeing your media easier. The first is down here at the bottom. There's a slider. This slider bar affects the size of the thumbnails next to the name in the list view. This can help create some space and clarity in a really cluttered project panel. In a bin panel in Icon View, the slider affects the size of the icons. On higher resolution monitors, the text inside the project panel can sometimes be hard to read. One way to fix this is to go up to the tab, click on the hamburger, and in the menu, select Font Size. You can see here mine is already set to extra large. They're small for comparison, and then extra large for readability. As the project panel starts to collect assets and bins, one thing you can do to find what you're looking for quickly is use the search feature or the find feature up here at the top of the project panel. And as I start to type, it will filter out that list just to the files that contain those names. After you've found the files you're looking for, you'll want to remember to come up here and clear out this filter box so that you can now see everything else inside the project panel.